What do you get when you give a weirdo degenerate the ability to create a viral game on Roblox? Well, you get very close to the destruction of every single game on the site. From getting critics banned off of Roblox to being a completely gross degenerate behind the scenes, all while on top of exposing millions of children to not safe for work content. Today, we are going to be looking at the massive downfall of the game known as Meepcity and the extremely degenerate, gross behavior from the creator Alex Neutron. But before we do, make sure you're subscribed down below, as 95% of you guys aren't actually subscribed, so subscribe if you're not. So this story starts all the way back in 2007, when Alex Neutron was only 12 years old. This is when Alex decided to create his very first Roblox account, called Alex Neutron. Little did he know that him creating this account would lead to a very successful career in Roblox development. But at the time, Roblox wasn't that big of a deal. You couldn't even make money off of your Roblox games at the time. So Alex Neutron spent the first few years creating seemingly innocent Roblox games, like Ultimate Survive an Erupting Volcano. But as time went on, Alex Neutron really tried to own his skills as a programmer, and he started creating some very successful Roblox games as time went on. Like a very cool game called Apples to Apples, which was a card game, and it worked very similar to Cards Against Humanity if you've ever played that game. That was an extremely unique game at the time because that game was solely UI. There was like nothing like in a 3D environment at all, which was pretty unique at the time. After that, he decided to make another pretty innovative game known as Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is a game show, and what was super innovative about this is it was one of the very first games that I can remember that actually had voice acting. And it was super impressive because the thing is, you could only upload 6-second audio clips, and he had to have done this hundreds of times to be able to get every single voice line. It was super innovative and a very creative game. Now, after that, he created another game known as Roblox Dodgeball. Roblox Dodgeball was also a pretty awesome game. I actually grinded that game so much as a kid, and the game blew up a ton in 2016. And this is when Alex Neutron really started to see that there was a career and potential in Roblox. Now, before we get to Meepcity, I actually have to go back one more time to talk about a game known as Social Meeps, which was pretty much the predecessor to Meepcity. Now, if you've ever played Meepcity, you will know it takes huge inspiration from both Club Penguin and Toontown. But originally, what Meepcity was supposed to be was a Roblox-like avatar system with Club Penguin, and it would have probably been very, very huge. Now, there really isn't that much information on this game, but I do remember seeing it at the time, and it was just really cool. But that was the seed that eventually turned into Meepcity years down the line. But now we're at Meepcity. Meepcity launched on February 23rd of 2016. This game was a seemingly innocent game with very humble beginning. It was pretty much like what Adopt Me kind of is now, where you could build a house and you cared for a pet. Now, it didn't have like all the different pets that you could get, like in, for instance, Adopt Me, but rather it decided to go with a similar design to what Club Penguin did. Now, on the left of the screen, this is a Puffle. This is from Club Penguin. Now, on the right of the screen, this is a Meep. You obviously see the similar designs here, and the way that you raised this pet was very similar to how Club Penguin system worked, and it really nurtured roleplay, which was a huge thing of Club Penguin back in the day. Now, I even believe that Alex Neutron was working on a Toontown clone before Meepcity got launched a few years prior, so you could really see the inspiration all around with his game, and it was very cool and unique, and it took Roblox by storm. Now, nobody really had any issues with this game, other than people just didn't like OD, which is kind of funny because, honestly, that is like the least of Roblox's issues nowadays. But all that would change when an update in January of 2017 would release. This update was called Parties, where you could pretty much host a party and invite anybody from all servers to your party. All you had to do was go up to the party booth and you could see your party and anyone can join. Now, the crazy thing about this is this system is in a lot of different games on Roblox, but Meepcity's, the way it was set up to get taken advantage of. Now, the issue with Meepcity parties was people were making not safe for work hangout games in them, where people would do inappropriate things. There was how do I say this, clubs where people have no clothes on, where they specifically strip, and there was tons of different condo games featured in these parties. Now, the impact this update had on millions of children is pretty heartbreaking, but I just want to illustrate to you how bad this is. Okay, so as you can see, this is a party in Meepcity that was not appropriate. This was uploaded right before parties actually got removed. We'll get to that later. Well, This is so bad, bro. You could see polls here where people were grinding against doing suggestive dances. I can't really say what they were doing because I'll get instantly demonetized. But you can see there's so much clothing in this that is just not allowed on Roblox. What's so tragic about this is every single one of these users is underage. And the ones that aren't underage, well, they are adults, specifically looking for kids that are underage. Now, as you can see here, these are little things that you could place down in your Meepcity party. And it would allow you to change into whatever avatar the host selects. And these were almost always inappropriate outfits like this one here. Now, I can't even show most of these, but this is probably the only one I can show. These games were littered head to toe with not safe for work clothing, and tons of people were enacting the deed on it. The first action you might take if you made this game is you might get moderators and try to go through and ban all of the people doing this, because you have to remember the main people playing this game were very impressionable children who don't even know what they are experiencing. Well, do you want to guess what Alex Neutron decided to do after figuring out what was taking place on his game? Well, after being hit with that feedback, here's what he said: add some in-game moderator. Unfortunately, that's not much of a scalable solution. Also, it's Roblox's jurisdiction. I have no liability. That is pretty bold, especially when kids are being subjected to that type of behavior. Alex Neutron needs to sort out the Meepcity party. They are just disgusting. But isn't it better that the disgusting people are in the parties and not in the rest of the game? Keeps them secluded. How could you say something like that when children are joining your game, getting subjected to that sort of stuff? Now, I'm going to mention the fact that other Roblox games at the time had similar features. The only reason why Meepcity was specifically getting taken advantage of was different things that were featured, like for instance, the outfit creator, where people could just go on a little button and be totally dressed up in not safe for work clothing, and stuff like cameras and beds and discos and poles and all of that sort of stuff. It allowed you to create a not safe for work hangout game within hours. Now, one of the biggest critics of this at the time was someone by the name of Green Lego Cat. He made numerous videos discussing what was going on with the game. And sorry, Green Lego Cats, they were kind of bad videos. I have no idea how those videos gained so much traction. They were literally just slideshows. I'm sorry. But he made numerous videos discussing all the things that were taking place on Meepcity at that time, like the inappropriate parties, the issue with online dating, and Alex Neutron's response to all of this. And guess what Alex Neutron decided to do? He went to Roblox to try and get him banned off of Roblox, and succeeded at it. Now, it was never confirmed directly if Alex Neutron was the one that was responsible for this, but Cowcow's ban message was apparently for exploiting, and he said that he's never exploited at all. Now, I have no idea if that is true or not, but what makes me believe that Alex Neutron got Green Lego Cats banned off of Roblox was some of the messages he was writing on Twitter after the ban happened. Now, Cowcow here wrote a post pretty much asking why he got banned, and Alex Neutron here said, "Oh, and that last one is partially why you were banned. It says, incite others to do anything listed above." I don't think Cowcow ever incited people to exploit, but that is awfully strange just coming from him, you know? But that wasn't the only post he wrote on Twitter about Cowcow getting banned. He was banned for exploiting and harassing users in his videos. He was in the wrong. His ban message said nothing about harassing users. It was specifically for exploiting. Here you can see his ban message. It just says exploiting is not permitted on Roblox. It said nothing about harassing users. Why is it then he gets you banned, Cowcow, but not the ODer? Because harassment is worse than ODing, and I didn't get him banned. I find it very strange that Alex Neutron was talking about something entirely different than his ban reason. He was even caught on Twitter liking different posts relating to Cowcow getting banned, and that is just such an odd thing to happen randomly out of the blue after a video that you made went viral talking about a specific game. And not to mention the developer going out on Twitter and like almost celebrating his ban. It's very strange. And Alex Neutron wrote this post here. He said, well, I mean, if he gets to stalk my Twitter, I get to stalk his YouTube, meaning that he was watching all of his videos and stalking his YouTube channel. So if this was a random out of the blue ban, I highly suspect Alex Neutron was the one behind it. Now, as time went on, Alex Neutron had to add some patches, specifically because it became such a massive deal as time went on. So big, in fact, that news articles were being written about it by all the mainstream outlets, and even governments were getting involved. I'll get to that part in a second, but some of the things that he decided to do was like this. He removed certain furniture as beds, hot tubs, etc., and made it so that they are blocked in parties, as, you know, people were doing the deed on the bed. And right around this same time, Meepcity had amassed over 1 billion visits. But this is when the government literally got involved and Meepcity started to affect every single Roblox game. Now, it all began when mainstream news outlets decided to write articles on Roblox, talking about the exact same things that Green Lego Cats and other YouTubers were talking about. These articles were so bad that it actually got the attention of different governments around the world. Like, for instance, the Australian government. In some leaked Roblox documents that came out about 2 years ago, Roblox showed that they actually had to use some of their own moderators to moderate Meepcity specifically. And on top of that, something that affected every single Roblox game literally forever is that Roblox updated their chat filter. So before, you could say numbers, you could say all sorts of things in chat, and you would be completely fine. But after this update came out, it made trying to send messages on Roblox so much harder. This is all because of what Alex Neutron did. Now, I just want to state, it's not entirely confirmed that these documents are real, but if you want more information on it, I'll leave a link down to Green Lego Cats video, as it discusses the leaked documents in way more greater length. But things like the chat filter, well, that did end up happening, and it really hurt almost every single game on Roblox. So you might be wondering, what was Alex Neutron's response to the fact that governments were getting involved and mainstream news articles were writing so many hit pieces at not only Meepcity, but Roblox as a whole? He said here, agreed. There really isn't a predator problem in my game. It's just a lot of fake news, if that's even the proper term for it. People take screenshots of stuff that happens rarely by players just causing some havoc, and they get spread and shared as if that's all my game is. Well, to be quite frank with you, it really was all his game was. It was a very huge aspect and a huge player base to his game. You'll see why as we continue this video. Now, we are currently in the year of 2018, but I literally want to fast forward all the way to 2022. Now, within this time period, Alex Neutron added a lot of updates to Meepcity, and what he decided to do was pretty remarkable. He decided to re-add all of those furniture pieces that were once removed, and the parties issue, well, it only got worse, even with the help of Roblox behind. Chase Rooney wrote this post here: glad to see Meepcity is taking action against popular inappropriate parties on their game targeting young children. What is remarkable about this is 300,000 people liked this game, and there was 1,000 active players on this game. Now, Laughability made a pretty viral video on this game, along with many other YouTubers, and right after that, Roblox finally had enough with Meepcity. They went ahead and took down the game. It was only for a few days though, and when Meepcity got reinstated, parties were officially gone. So Meepcity parties were removed in February of 2022. As you can see, this is when Laughability and all these creators made videos on it. This here was when it got removed. And take a look at this huge decline ever since then. The game before was averaging around 185,000 players. Now it barely averages 9 to 10,000 people playing. That's a pretty huge decline. And honestly, the most tragic thing that happened throughout this whole thing is the effects that kids had looking at this material so early on. Meepcity's main player base was almost all children, and this comment by a 13-year-old really breaks my heart, man. So this was on Parlo's video talking about it, and it said, my sister is a 7-year-old and I'm 13 years old. My sister played Meepcity and she got exposed into S-word content. I'm sick of Alex Neutron. Later, she got interested in S content thing. Rather than role-playing, I didn't let her play Meepcity. I allowed her to play other roleplay games, but not Meepcity. I'm starting to worry about my sister. She's young, and I'm her big brother. That is really just a heartbreaking thing to read, and that highlights the effects of what Alex Neutron did. But there is something missing entirely in all of this. One singular puzzle piece that we have not discussed yet. Why Alex Neutron didn't care. Why he would let millions of kids get subjected to not safe for work content and turn a blind eye entirely, to the point where governments were getting involved, where mainstream news articles were being written about Meepcity. Could it be for money? Well, that definitely probably played in some aspect. He definitely became a millionaire from all of that stuff. But what if I told you while all this was going on, Alex Neutron was living a secret double life, where he was a complete degenerate over a fictional blue Yoshi character? I am not joking. This is an innocent minigame inside of Meepcity. And if you take a look at this, there's someone by the name of Zilly the Chef. To the average person, you might not think much of that. Zilly was actually the name of Alex Neutron's degenerate alter ego. You can see references everywhere going back to this, just by taking a look back at his feed. Like, for instance, what Alex Neutron tweeted here. Have you ever seen the new Meep animations? Here's a cute example of a Meep rolling around on the ground. Oh, what's the name of that? Zilly. Now, Alex Neutron's account that he currently is using was once called Zilly LB, and he was writing some pretty degenerate stuff on there. This message here is pretty disturbing. Alex Neutron, on his then Zilly account, said this: "At Sysworks, you're 13 and I'm 20 and I'll kick your butt." So Alex Neutron goes ahead and knows his age is 13 and he says he's 20. So if we go to Alex Neutron's famous birthday, it says his birthday was in 1995, and when this screenshot was taken was 2015. So we do the math on that. Yeah, he's 20 years old. So clearly he's insinuating the age of a user that he believes is 13 years old and states his age. Now, what he says a few hours later to this individual is very disturbing. What's a yiff? So if you are unaware what yiff is, that is the sound furries make when they procreate. Yeah, he said that to a 13-year-old. As you can see here, it goes further. I'm listening, says Alex. Alex, you see, when furries love each other very much, Alex Neutron says, Yoshis don't do that. They're asexual. I haven't even gotten into the fact that he had an account dedicated to furry gore art. I'll show you guys this because this is kind of tame, but this is only one example of it. This was his profile picture at one stage, which is extremely disturbing. And there are so many different instances where he was just doing very weird things with Yoshi. As you can see here, he had made all of these different stickers. They were called Zilly, and some of them are in a pretty seductive nature. I don't know what you call this. This account called Confessions Roblox Twitter community tweeted out, Alex Neutron cranks it off to pictures of Yoshi. Well, it had a response from Alex Neutron, and it said, here's Alex Neutron talking about what do Yoshi's feet look like. And here's even more instances of him with blue Yoshi. And here is so many different instances as well, tying Alex Neutron to this Zilly LB account. And also, the cherry on top of all this, Alex Neutron was following not safe for work furry accounts on his main Twitter. I have only scratched the surface of all of these things, but I think I highlighted how weird all of this was, while simultaneously Alex Neutron was under fire for allowing Meepcity parties to exist. Now, I think the real question I'm gonna leave you guys with today: do you think Alex Neutron didn't give any craps about what was taking place in Meepcity parties because he was super greedy, or the fact that he was obsessed with degenerate behavior and wanted to fill his desires? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. But at the end of the day, Alex Neutron is a very disturbed individual. He will go down as one of the most heinous Roblox developers to ever exist. He exposed possibly millions of children to inappropriate things, and his legacy on Roblox will forever be tainted. And that has been the story of Alex Neutron. Let me know your thoughts on all of that down below. But anyways, I'm gonna end today's video here. Bye, guys.